Good evening and welcome to the webinar. The topic for the day is Importance of Intranet in an Organization. I hope this slide is visible to all of you there. Let's just look onto what intranet is and how we define an intranet and when it came into existence. An intranet is a private network within an enterprise, and it uses network technologies as a tool to facilitate communication between people or work groups to improve the data sharing capability and overall knowledge base of an organization's employees. An intranet is basically an organization's intelligence, and the purpose of this intelligence is to organize each individual's desktop with minimal cost, time, and effort to be more productive, more cost efficient, more timely, and more competitive. So it typically starts by publishing web pages about companies' events, health or safety policies, newsletters, holiday requests, etc. So through an intranet, we can eliminate paperwork and it will speed up the workflows. Now, as more and more features are added in an intranet, it becomes more essential to the operation of an organization, and it becomes a portal that provides access to all the things a worker needs. So basically, an intranet eliminates paperwork and speeds up workflows. Let's just look into when intranet came into existence. In the mid of 1990s, this networking method was first introduced at California University. So before an intranet, there was zero existence of any reliable network technology for collaborating the information staying within the organization. So an intranet is highly targeted. An intranet, when it initially began, the intranet targeted at the commerce and business sector. Now the major advantage of this intranet was it can host multiple websites to be used by an organization with no geographical restriction in a small area network. So this is how an intranet started spreading all over the world because it stayed connected with the organization within, and it was more advantageous than the intranet. Now let's just look at how the internet success rate was when compared to the web. The internet success rates are typically about 33% higher than the web, mainly for two reasons. That is, there is no doubt about where to go, and employees' experience with their company's intranet continually increases. Now what I mean by there is no doubt about where to go is that an employee knows exactly where he is, and he need not be worried about whether an intranet is virus free or whether it would affect his own system or it is a phishing site. He need not be worried about where he is. So that is more advantageous than the normal web. And another point is that an employee's experience within their company's intranet continually increases. An employee who's working in an organization, when he uses an intranet, he would know the complete whereabouts of the organization. He would know what's happening or the recent news or what's yet to come, and all that can be easily conveyed to an employee using an intranet. Now let's just look at how an intranet works. Intranet and internet, they both work over a communication standard called TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. They connect over to users over a network, and the network administrator can formalize the structure for all the internal websites to be accessed. Now using an intranet, it is completely protected. The structure is completely protected using firewalls. Now these network may be the TCP and IP may use many kinds of network protocols such as SMTP, FTP, HTTP, and so on. Now this is just a simple framework of how an intranet works. Now you can see the firewall here that's been linked to the internet and to the local server, So through the firewall, you can block all the unwanted or phishing websites that would affect your system, and you can prevent all virus and malwares and all that can be protected through firewall, and that can be accessed through your server, and it's connected to the workstation, that is our PCs, and you can also connect it through a Wi-Fi to our mobile device. So this is how an intranet works, and that's how it's been protected through a firewall. Now let's see the usage of intranet. For facilitating the work groups accordingly and instant knowledge about important news of an organization, it helps in building up a relationship, it increases productivity, you can do your recommendations or suggestions through your intranet, and it is also useful for several other applications like project management, attendance, workforce information system, and so on. Next comes the advantages. Now, using an intranet usually increases your workforce productivity. They don't have to waste time in loitering around what they require in the internet. Rather than using an intranet, they have safe information coming in. And it is time saving, it's communicative advantages, it's used for publishing, it's cost effective, it advances collaborations, and it is platform independent. Now you can see this small graph and tabular column which I have jotted down. This talks about the time spent for performing 11 tasks in an intranet per year. You can see the y-axis here that talks about the time spent performing the 11 intranet tasks per year and the hours taken for it. And in the x-axis you can just see the studies that has been jotted down. Now the red line here called Q3 is the timeline for a poor intranet usability, and the blue line here, called the median, that's an average internet usability, and the green line Q1 is a good intranet usability. So you can just see how a good intranet usability, what it says about the total number of hours used, total number of hours spent for performing the tasks. You can see that above 55 to 30 hours is spent for a very poor intranet usability. They take around, for performing around 11 tasks, they take around 55 to 30 hours per year. And for performing around 11 tasks for an average intranet, they take around approximately 35 to 20 hours. And for a good intranet, for performing those same 11 tasks it takes around less than 30 to around 18 hours. So with this diagram you can see how a good intranet is useful for the employees or users in an organization. And in the tabular column just near the graph you can see that how a good intranet can cost you, and the return on investment based on a good intranet and a poor intranet. Through a good intranet, you can see that around 7.5 million per year is being invested, and for a poor intranet, about 12.9 million per year is invested. So you can see that the return on investment for 7.0 million per year and 12.9 million per year, there is a vast difference between them. The next is called the Intranet Maturity Framework. Okay, this Intranet Maturity Frameworks are used in software industries to depict how processes, software, and technologies can mature over time. Now, this framework is used to depict how intranets mature as they evolve from grassroots, departments-driven efforts into enterprise-wide portal programs and beyond that. So you can see that we have this graph that shows how the business value improves and how the information that's been shared in a particular intranet improves as we go down the stages. Stage 1 talks about communication and sharing intranets, which is like the first generation department level intranets that are used for primary communication and information sharing. The second stage is the self-service intranets that focuses on delivering HR, finance, and facilities-related services to employees within a department or company. The third stage is called the collaboration-driven intranets, and they are used for social networking concepts like wikis, blogs, tagging, etc. Now, a collaboration-driven intranet would consist of self-service intranets as well as communication sharing intranets, information in it, and also the business value in it. So as they move from one stage to another, they would consist of the business value or the information that is present in the previous stage as well as the present stage. So it adds value as we go along the stages from 1 to 6. And then and the fourth stage is called the enterprise information portals. This provides a personalized experience based on user's region, department, role, or access levels. And then comes digital dashboards, and then comes the final stage, that is the consolidated workplace interface. So a consolidated workplace interface would always consist of the rest of the stages, all the features and advantages that we saw in right from stage 1 to 5. You can see all that being implemented in the consolidated workplace interface too. So a company would reach the consolidated workplace interface when it is fully attained all the levels that we have seen right now. So a company's intranet would gain its business value, and it would have all the information required for an organization at the last stage, that is in the consolidated workplace interface. Next, we could see the intranet usability. That is the factors that have to be thought in while designing an intranet. All these factors are very important when you design an intranet. The main factors are executive support and budget, wide availability of search, navigation, and content usability. So what I mean by an executive support and budget is that when you design an intranet for your organization, proper budgets must be allocated for it, and you should have some standards and conduct to have the usability studies and write content and implement tools that can help employees increase their productivity. So when you allocate proper budget and you offer proper support from the management side, and you can actually see how an intranet can improve its standards when you have a usability study and approve or allocate proper budget to it. And then one of the most important thing is that you need a wide availability of search. The search option that an employee usually needs while accessing an intranet should be very easy and simple and accessible so that he can use it, and that makes him use the intranet more widely. In a recent study that was conducted, we could see that poor search is the greatest single cause of reduced usability across intranets. So you need to invest in a good search engine that compiles a unified index of the entire intranet and prioritizes search results appropriately. So an employee, when to access an information that he needs in an intranet, should be accessible within few seconds. So that makes him more usable. That makes the intranet more usable. And then comes the navigation. The internet should be easily navigated. It should be helpful by, you can allocate breadcrumbs so that it could be easily navigated. The employee or the user will know where he is at the currently, and he could easily access the rest of the other pages with the use of breadcrumbs. And the internet navigation should serve a dual purpose. Firstly, it should support task performance and give users access to tools and content. Secondly, it should provide navigation via an organizational chart as well. And the next point is the content usability. The content that is available in an intranet should be readily accessible, and it should supply good information to the employees. We need to ensure that there is a steady supply of good intranet content, and and it is easy to add or update a content. Now I would like to give you some tips for conducting usability evaluations in an intranet. How you could improve your intranet, or the features that you already have in an intranet could be improved by conducting usability evaluations regularly, and to know how advantageous or disadvantageous a particular feature is in an intranet. So let's just look at what we have as tips for conducting usability evaluation. Firstly, we need to do regular usability evaluations on an intranet. Secondly, recruit users from many different departments and disciplines so that you will know how, from different point of view, from different aspects, you would know where to improve or where you can put more efforts on. And then treat users and their data with much respect. Be very careful when you include new employees as test participants. Like when you include new employees as test participants for the usability evaluation, they might not have a clear understanding of what your entire intranet's functionalities are. So they might give you an inappropriate data or evaluation to you. So you need to be very careful when you include new employees as test participants. You need to give them clear instructions on what you are expecting from them, and what they want from the evaluation that they are making currently. And then comes watch users work with the intranet in their own environment, doing the tasks that are important to them. So this is the main reason why we are having an intranet, that is to make the users perform their tasks at ease. So you need to know how they're performing their tasks and what are the important things that they require while performing the task in an environment. Now I would like to show you our very own work goal, which we have developed as now this is the dashboard that we have. This is our own intranet called the work goal. We use this to have we use this among our employees, and this has been very helpful, and we've also been improving and adding more value to it right now. You can just see the various tabs that we have, the various modules that we have included. In the dashboard, you can see the blog being posted, and you can also see your activities for the day, your in time and out time. You can apply your leave or permissions in the dashboard. You also have a feedback, wherein you can add in feedback that would be posted to the WorkGoal product team. Now I would like to show you some features that are there in our own WorkGoal intranet system. I would like to take you across through each module one by one. Firstly, let us look into what Workforce does for us. Our workforce consists of all the employee details. All the employee's information would be collected here. You can add an employee. These are the various tabs that we have to capture the details of an employee. These are the various details we have. We have a pop-up which gives a brief description of what or who that employee is. We could also go into the employee's details. We could see the various details of an employee here. You can add multiple contact details. You can add multiple address details, because an employee might actually change from one location to another. So you might actually need the history of contacts, which would be useful in the later stages. And next you have the professional details. You have everything that can be specified about an employee here. You can also add comments about an employee. For example, if an appraisal has just been finished, you can just add comments about an employee on his performance. You can add multiple comments here. You have the qualification tab where you can add his work experience, his educational details, his skills, and his language proficiency. And you could also add multiple attachments and give a brief description of what the attachment is. We also have a wide availability of search. You can type in an employee's name and give a search. You can type in your reporting to person, or you can even give the department name and give a search. So we have a very wide availability of search that makes the users to work at ease. And then we have the attendance module, wherein we have the list of attendance of a particular employee for the entire month. Manage attendance would be visible for the admin, wherein he can use the filters to see how or when an employee has come, or the employee's attendance details for the entire month, and he can also generate a report. You could see the list of leaves applied per month or per year. Approved leave would be accessible for the team leads or admin. They could see how many leaves that are pending to be approved, and they can approve an employee's leave right here in the application itself. And we have a holidays module. When you click on that, you can just see the list of holidays that's been listed for a year, and you can customize the holidays. You can add or make a holiday inactive. You can create your own holiday list. We have an appraisal module. In the self-appraisal form, all the employees would be able to see self-appraisal forms. For their particular department, it is the list of questions for an employee for his particular department would be listed down here. And the team lead or the admin, they can approve or they can add in their comments by clicking on review appraisals. And they can also see the history of appraisal. Beneath the appraisal settings, you have an appraisal list wherein you can create your own appraisal forms. You can add an appraisal, and when you click on settings, you can add a question, and you can prioritize the order. So you can create your own appraisal list. And next comes the help desk. Help desk is used for creating tickets. You can raise it to a particular department, or you can customize this request type too. You can raise a ticket to either the IT, HR, or admin, and you have categories under it. You can prioritize it. You can add status to it. All these status are color coded. Open and reopen will be color coded in red. Closed will be in green, and in progress will be in blue. You can add a description to your ticket, and you can also add a mail ID, or you can CC it to your higher officials if at all you think that this ticket needs a priority for it. And you can also add attachments to it. You can add a screenshot, and then you can submit your request. So once you submit your request, this is how it appears. It is all color coded. Now, when an IT administrator or HR wants to view what ticket has been raised, it would be listed in their view my request. And once he clicks on it, he can just view the details of what the ticket is, and he can add the action and the status to it. And once he gives save an email, it would directly email the employee and to himself. And even under workforce we have settings wherein all the tabs that we have like employee status, designation, department, shift timings and location can be customized according to your company's needs. And then you have my account which will be visible to the specific employees. All your details will be visible there. Next you have the company level settings, wherein your company details can be mentioned here. You can choose your time zone, you can choose your date format, and you can even add a logo for your company and it would appear here and also in all the emails that gets generated. You can customize the roles. You can add roles for employees. We have certain roles called admin, BA, CEO, employee, HR, supervisor, and team lead. You can set your access rights here. Whether they want to view those details or not, you can set access rights for each role and assign it to employees as you create the employee details. You can add country or state. So when you add a country or state, you would that would get listed down at all places where you have a mention of address details. We also have a mass mailing option wherein you can see the mail IDs of all the employees being listed here. And if at all you want to be department specific, you can just choose the department. Choose the department and add the addresses that you want. And then send a mail. You can draft it and send it. So this is what we have in our application, and whatever we saw right now in the presentation about search functionality and about many other things that we were seeing right now about navigation, about the maturity framework, all that has been implemented here, and you can see how useful and how easy it is to navigate through the website. Now you can have a free trial of WorkGoal for 30 days, and all you have to do is just fill in a sign-up form that's available at workgoal.com, or you can even follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Any questions, please?
I heard what?
Any questions? Okay, thank you for attending this webinar. I hope this was very informative to you, and I would like to urge you to have a free trial of WorkGoal and see how our product works. Thank you.